Hello.
Hey!
Hey guys.
We're back.
Hi.
We're back. Okay, I can take this down now. So we're out there now. Okay. It also helps me to remember to go live. Just go live. Welcome to our show. Are you serious? Yay! Look at that. I put that up, and Daniel actually looked up like that, like the opening thing from the Brady Bunch, you know, where they all look up. Okay, so let's quickly introduce ourselves and say who we are, and then we'll talk about the game, and then we'll play it. Let's go. Casey, we'll start with you since you're in the 12 o'clock position there.
Hi, my name is Casey Casperson. I'm married with 2 children, but I'm still available.
Okay. Jesse.
I'm Jessie Sheriff Coburn, even though I haven't legally changed my name. I know I'm a bad girl.
She's available.
I am also available because I didn't change my name. So there you have it.
Oh, for God's sake. Now I've got to change everything. Okay. That's it? Okay, Daniel, where are you?
My name's Daniel Shinnok. I am most notably a Sagittarius.
Yes!
I'm also very happy to be here. I'm just, I'm vibing, and I'm happy to be playing with you guys and making laughs for anyone watching. Thank you and welcome.
Kiera.
My name is Kiera. Y-track. I'm 5'3". I have brown hair and athletic builds. I am also not but not available. And I'm a Libra.
Okay.
We're all available.
We're all available.
I haven't spoken. I haven't said a word.
We just lost all our audience.
No,
Which are our spouses.
Yeah.
We lost our spouses.
Right. Yeah. My spouse and I will be watching this recorded later on, so I'm not available.
Whatever you're into, Tom.
I'm not available at all. But that's that's like saying the Concord isn't available. It doesn't exist.
What is that?
Right. I know exactly. It says plane.
Oh, is that your way of saying I'll meet you at the museum?
I got to talk to a man about a Concord,
Hope I don't crack the concrete.
When we were in high school, the drinking age was 18. We were already drinking at this one bar. It was called the Four Provinces, and we had different names for it depending upon where we were. If we were in school and we were going to kind of bug out and go there, we would say, "Let's all go to the library." So if you're in school, the library was the Four P's. If we were anywhere else, it was the castle. To the castle. But we never actually called it by its name. It had a different name. So yes, Concord. Yes, I'm definitely.
Did you skip high school to go to a bar? Because is that
we didn't skip. We were in school, but
the bar.
Yes, we were in. Well, it's hard to understand that now because the drinking age is 21. But back then, when the drinking age,
because back then the life expectancy was
43. Yeah, yeah, it was 23 because you were going to get your ass shipped to Vietnam. That's why your life expectancy was 23. So now that you've gotten an idea of a bunch of bullshit, which that wasn't, but we're going to hear some tonight. How do we play our game? The game is very simple. Each of our 4 panelists has sent me in the past snippets about their lives, little anecdotes that are true anecdotes, and I'm going to share one of those with for each of them tonight, although I might have substituted them with a lie that I made up. Either way, they're going to have to convince us that they're telling the truth, and the other team will have to figure out if they're lying or telling the truth. The red team, which is Daniel and Jesse, and the blue team, which is Kiera and Casey, whoever guesses correctly most often wins, and they win a fabulous prize. So,
do we win a Concord?
No, but you get discounted tickets to improv. All right. So
Special discount.
special discount. Right. Okay, so here we go. Are we ready to play tonight's game? Yes, we are.
Let's do it.
So
I don't
for
care.
the first, we usually get Casey up first because he's usually in that top spot right there. You see him right there, right there, right there. How hard this is to do in your mirror.
It's right here.
Okay, there it is.
My name is Casey.
Here's Casey's truth or lie. Here
Here it comes. I once had to do stand-up comedy in a club because the scheduled hypnotist had a seizure.
What do we think of that? No, snap out of it. Snap out of it. Snap out of it. What do you think of that?
You have a seizure saying that line a little bit there?
What? Oh.
That could be one of our warm-ups. Scheduled hypnotist had a seizure. Scheduled hypnotist had a seizure.
That is hard to say.
It's even harder to lie about, right, Casey?
Yeah.
And the one person who could have snapped him out of that seizure was him. What an ironic twist that must be.
So where was this, Casey?
This was in Evansville, Indiana, of course.
Isn't it always? Yeah.
Casey, I've seen your stand-up. Did your stand-up give him the seizure? That's mean. That's really mean. I'm sorry.
No, it's not mean. It's true. They you know how when you go to a lot of shows and they give the warning about this show could give you. It started with me back in 1999 at the Funny Bone in Evansville, Indiana.
Okay.
Funny Bone.
Well, this is either going to have like a lot of like flashing lights or Casey doing stand-up. It's one of the two.
Flashing lights and Casey doing stand-up are one and the same. It's actually.
I was often able to hypnotize people with my stand-up. So
no, people just fell asleep. People just slept,
or entered suicide pacts. Yeah, it's.
Okay, were you there when this hypnotist seizure went into a seizure, or did this happen? Okay, if you don't mind, let us hear about it.
Great. So, so this guy, he before the show started said, "Hey, I have a brain tumor," and I have a brain tumor, and before I go out on stage, I just want to let you know that there might be a time where I call on you to come out because I have to go backstage and my wife will kind of take care of me in the green room and you just do like,
oh my God. Wait, Casey, were you in the audience though?
No, I was a server at the Funny Bone and I was also the house MC. That's a whole thing. That's a whole other story. And so this guy said, "Hey, if I'm up there and I call for you, I'll call you by your name and I'll introduce you and I'll try to make it as though this is just a normal part of the show. And I'll bring you up on stage." And he had hypnotized quite a few people that were sitting on the stage and a couple of people in the audience. And I'm serving tall boy Bud Lights or whatever. And he calls me up and says, "Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have a few minutes while these people can go into a deeper sleep. The person's voice that you hear every time he talks, you are going to go deeper and deeper into your sleep." And I went up and I did about 15 minutes. At the time, I had maybe 7 minutes in me. I was fucking stressed out because I knew there was this dude that maybe is dying while this is happening.
Wouldn't be the first one to die on stage in a comedy club.
So his big closer was making himself disappear, right?
He could only do it once.
Prestige, baby.
Yeah, so we had to take a big container of him full of fluid and put him in the basement, and with all the other ones of him
and seal him in what was it? Carbonite or what was it? What's it? Carbonite.
You're mistaking this for Star Wars. The Prestige.
What was that stuff called that the Han Solo was stuck in?
Carbonite.
Carbonite, right? Yeah.
Carbonite.
Okay.
Carbonite.
Yeah. I got it.
So I did my
Carbonite was from Star Trek. Carbonite.
Hold on, let me get a pen. I'm going to write this down.
Write this stuff down, Jesse. Go ahead, keep going. I just felt it needed to be said.
So the hypnotist comes back out after he's done, and he's noticeably like sweaty, like things were rough. And then he comes back out. He has the audience give me a round of applause, and then he says, "Now that you hear my voice," and he just continues with the show. And the whole wait staff knows what the deal is. Like the GM knows what the deal is, and I'm just like sitting backstage, like traumatized from this thing.
When you were doing stand-up, what were the hypnotized people on stage? Were they really in that deep sleep? Did anybody, awaken?
They all just. So what he did was he put them in a state where they're like hypnotized, but he's like, they're doing a show, but you're going to go deeper into sleep. But they all were sitting like behind me, in front of me. It's a small stage. It's probably about the same size as like the stage at Doghouse. So they're just like,
I forgot what that is actually, but
Tom, the Doghouse Theater's in Delray Beach.
Where's that? I don't even know where Delray Beach is anymore. Is Delray Beach where the where COVID is all over? It's all done there. Is that?
It's all done there, guys. So if you want, go to
back.
Doghouse.
Yeah.
Standing room only.
Yeah.
And of course, the way we greet all of our guests is with a French kiss.
Big old hug and a kiss. Yeah.
Cool.
You should see our big show. Oh, it's called "How Many Times Can You Cough?"
It's called Coffin to Coffin. Get it?
Casey, was that like your big break where you discovered from that?
I think we all know, with the number of followers that we have on tonight's show, you guys know that I didn't get my momentum from nowhere.
Okay. Any further questions for Casey before we reach a verdict? Before you reach a verdict?
It just sounds awful. So my brain's kind of locked into how awful. I mean, doing stand-up normally is a shit show and a crapshoot.
It's not great.
So,
yeah.
Okay, so then why don't Jesse and Daniel, red team, why don't you confide in one another and come up with a verdict? Is it true or is it a lie?
I mean, 15 minutes is a long time, and he said he only had like 7 minutes worth of content. So I just don't know what happened for the rest of the time.
I don't know why.
So the hypnotist part you'll buy, but the 15 minutes of stand up, that's just
beyond. Jesse's seen me do comedy before. She's like, "There's no way." This
said
guy.
that there was a round of applause. Like, I just don't.
I think it's true. You know what?
Yeah.
I think it's true. The only thing that's questionable is I don't know Casey's history very well. I don't know. Do you know if he did stand up in Evansville before coming to South Florida? Is that something you've heard before? Can you corroborate?
There's none of that shit. You can't Google this shit. You got to figure out whether he's telling the truth or telling a lie.
Google it.
The funny part
50 call friends.
Yeah. You seem passionate, Daniel, and I support you. So I say
So you're gonna say true.
yes.
Okay. Well, it's true.
Oh my God. That's absurd.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about that? Yes,
Wild.
that's true.
So some additional tidbits. His
Mhm.
name was Raven. He is 100% the reason why I am atheist. He is brilliant. He's the reason why I believe that magic is real. I showed him a magic trick. He took my deck of cards. He didn't do any kind of magic trick whatsoever. I literally wrote on my hand a card I was thinking of. He took my deck of cards, showed me the card that I had written on my hand with my own pen. Nobody else could see. And he pulled it out of the deck without looking inside the deck to pull the card. The dude was phenomenal and amazing. He is, when I went back in town.
Maybe he didn't do that. Maybe he just hypnotized you and told you that he did.
Exactly.
Oh my God. I wish I'd been hypnotized for the last 20 years. That dude was super amazing. He was wonderful, and he could never hypnotize me. I tried so many times, but
yeah,
whatever.
People have tried to hypnotize me too, and it doesn't take with me. Yes, even like therapist type people have tried to hypnotize. I just said try it. I just want to see it, but couldn't do it. Okay, Jesse.
All right.
You're next in the firing line here. So we've got a truth or not truth for you. So
let's do it.
Are you ready? Let's do it.
Once, when visiting a hospital, I fell asleep on a hospital bed in an empty room. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
That's not so bad.
No.
Who were you visiting?
I was visiting a coworker. Yes.
Why? Why were you visiting your coworker in the hospital?
So, unfortunately, she was in a induced coma. Is that the proper medical term?
Yeah. Medically induced coma.
Medically induced coma, but she's not in it anymore. She's fine. So
it turns out she was just married.
Yeah.
She was hypnotized.
That's a legally induced coma. Yeah.
Unfortunately, she's still intubated, but that's
So
She's single.
yeah, like how we are. Yeah, not much. I mean, I went to visit her. It was like a little crazy. Like they were being very restrictive about who could see her because her immune system was really weak. So I had to like
COVID.
No, this is pre-COVID.
Okay.
The big
AIDS.
C. Yeah.
SARS.
No.
Ebola.
Bubonic plague.
No, it was like cancer plus some other stuff, you know.
Wait, we can get cancer via airborne?
You can get other stuff when you have cancer.
Was she on a
Hey, Jesse, do I have cancer?
Do I have other stuff?
I heard it. I heard if you spread lamb's blood over the threshold of your door.
Yes.
Yes.
And I read that
It's over
somewhere.
you don't get it.
It keeps Amazon from delivering. Yes, absolutely.
I thought she had a very weak immune system, and so they were being just like very strict about things. And so I couldn't really get in there for a while. So I thought, you know, there was a room, it looked inviting, and I just took a little cat nap in there.
Wait, you're Goldilocks?
Yes.
Did they have
she's half
oatmeal?
Goldilocks
Did they have
now.
Yeah.
porridge?
I haven't been to the
Did you test all 3 bowls of porridge?
the hospital staff was really nice. I mean, no one was in the room. They were like, you can have it until someone needs it, you know?
You're
Turns
like
out
somebody
you
who didn't.
needed it.
Like, how traumatizing would that be to be woken up to that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't have a roommate or anything. It was pretty nice.
Okay.
Yeah. And then
Jesse, what difference does it make to visit someone that's in a coma?
well, you know, they can feel your presence. They can hear you when you speak to them.
Mhm.
Well, it's like
Yeah.
it's like asking why bother doing improv for half of our audiences. You know, you just do it.
Exactly.
You know you're going to get through it.
We can't do that math with improv. You do half the audience, you can't saw someone in half.
It's like doing stand up to hypnotize people. You know what I mean? It's just there's a pulse, but you know.
You can saw someone in half if you're a magician in Evansville. You can saw someone in half.
Yeah, it was a good experience. I'm trying to think. I mean, I got a pretty good sleep, surprisingly.
Did you get a bill? Did they send you a bill?
No bill. No.
Like what time of day was it?
So this is the afternoon. I left work early to go. I felt like that was acceptable. It was like.
And where were you working at the time?
I was at my current job at Sendine.
So this is within the last few years?
Yes.
Is that person back at work?
Yes.
Did they like for hospitality? Did they leave like a little wrapped Vicodin on the pillow to greet you? Or?
No, but they should.
So
that would be nice.
Could that person be watching this?
Potentially, yeah. I mean, unlikely.
Because she's still in a coma, but back to work.
Yeah. She's one of our most productive workers, actually.
What's that, Kiera?
I have an inconsistency I'd like to address.
Okay.
So you get to the hospital and they're like, to visit your friend who's in the coma. And they're like, oh, sorry, you can't visit her. She has a weak immune system. And you're like, instead of going home, I'm going to take a nap in this hospital?
Fair. Yeah, I get it. It was more so like there were people guarding her room. Like in her family, they were the ones being a little bit stricter. So we were kind of waiting for there to be like an opening to go. Yeah.
You're waiting to like sneak past her family?
Sort of. They were being like over the top, I think. I mean, maybe they had her best interest.
This is
a lot of bullshit.
What would you call this story? I think I'd call it Admission Impossible. Sorry, I'm gonna go now. I'm sorry, guys.
Or
it was like
admission in hospital.
It was hard to even get on like the guest list. Like that was the other thing. Okay, you know what? I didn't want to go home because the chances of me getting back in were unlikely. Like they were not allowing a lot of people.
So sorry.
Well, it was worth it. Once I woke up from my slumber.
That's what she said. Okay, I gotta go. That's enough.
I don't want to say that my voice woke her from the coma, but like there's this chance that it did.
The dulcet tones of Jesse Sheriff.
I'm going to take the link to this live broadcast. I'm going to send it to the head of HR to make sure it gets sent to the whole company.
Wait a minute. I'm about to rewrite. Hold it. Wait. Keep talking. Wait.
It was short. Once I got in there, it was pretty short. And I did have a cold. I feel really guilty about that.
Why do you keep? I don't want to keep saying the same thing over and over, Jesse.
No, but I actually feel bad because I probably shouldn't have visited her, but I took a chance.
Okay. I'm just gonna put this up. There we go.
My voice once spoke her friend from a coma. There you go. That's better, Tom. Better. Warmer.
Oh my god. Did you just tell us a story about the Notebook? Is that what this is? Is this some Nicholas Sparks shit?
I don't know why I didn't make that the thing.
That also would have been true.
Here's the problem. If it's a lie, then it's something Tom did. Like that's the pattern. And it sounds super believable that Tom just went to random.
Picture me actually visiting anyone in a hospital.
Tom, you don't visit like people in like events that are yours, that are hosted by you. I mean, it's
that you're in.
Yeah.
Fine.
Who would better know not to? Okay, so why don't you discuss and come up with a verdict?
Kiera, I'm going to tell you that this is probably true because I feel so strongly at what a bunch of bullshit came out of Jesse's mouth during the last 10 minutes.
Wake up. Does that help? That's what I was saying.
That's how they come out of it. That's how they do it.
What do you think, Blue Team?
It's hard. I feel the same way. I'm like, this sounds so bad and fake that it's probably true.
So what do you think? What do you think?
I think it's a lie. What do you think, Kiera?
Yeah, it's gotta be a lie.
Sounds like a
I think
lie.
it's a lie.
Okay, it's a lie. Yay!
You
Jesse,
sick background.
Jesse, I thought it was true. I thought that was true.
Daniel, you're a good teammate.
I
I wrote it and I thought it was true for a while.
Yeah, right?
Jesse, do you know the moment that I thought that it was a lie?
What? When I said I had a dog?
I'm not going to tell you because I have to do this game with you more.
Oh, no.
You don't want to tell her tell? You mean?
It's a very clear tell.
Okay.
I love it.
Okay.
Damn it.
So we are neck and neck. And we move on now to Daniel, who will, one way or the other, break the tie.
That's a lot of pressure.
Are you ready?
Of course.
Of course you're ready. Here we go. Here's Daniel's truth or lie.
To settle a bet, I once had to measure a small footbridge and my own body lengths. I crawled from one end of the 23 Shinnok long bridge, nice touch, to the other.
Yeah, I thought I. Okay.
What? I don't get it.
What's a footbridge?
A bridge that's not like a huge.
It must be a lie. He made up the word footbridge.
It's not a huge San Francisco Golden Gate Bridge length bridge. It's just a bridge you can
walk over.
Just a bridge.
It's like a basic bridge.
For walking
basic
over.
ass. A bridge that orders pumpkin spice.
A basic bridge.
Wait, this is a bridge that the Spice Girls walked over?
God.
Exactly.
They couldn't hit a bridge, much less.
If you want to be my lover, you better walk 23 Shinnocks.
Oh shit!
What other nerd did you make this bet with?
Okay. So to be very honest with you, this happened in Japan.
China.
Always.
I said Japan. They're different countries.
Same. Big place. A lot of people.
Well,
did you tie one on when you were there?
I'm
sorry. Way too soon. In the
hey, Taiwan is not recognized by the U.S. One China policy, so let's leave that out right now.
Okay.
So in the English conversation teaching school I worked at, there was a lot of downtime, and me and the coalition of the willing, who was me, an American coworker, a British coworker, and an Australian coworker, we would get into really stupid debates very often.
This feels like a rabbi, a priest.
Walk into an English teacher.
Walk into
a footbridge. Yeah.
And then someone walks over a bridge. I get it. Good punchline. Solid. So good for my hypno stand up.
Okay. Continue.
Right, can you explain how the crawling works? Like, how does the crawling give you 23 Daniels?
So basically, there's a bridge that we always went over to go from our school to a bar that we drank at the time. No, it wasn't the fucking provinces or whatever, We didn't yell to the castle. But we would go there every Thursday and Friday, basically after work. And we got into a stupid bet about the length. And basically I said that I bet you that if I measured it in my body, which is 6 feet, it would be about, 22, 23, 24. And they took the bet. They thought it was a lot longer. They thought it was going to be 40, 50. And
so you would lie down. Okay.
Yeah, disgustingly.
So they thought you were a short dude.
I just think they didn't have a good eye for perception. I was in Japan. Not many people thought I was a short dude over there. So,
Chinese people get it.
So go ahead. This is fascinating.
Did you know in China right now it's the year of the racist? Were you aware?
Really?
So anyway,
oh no, that's terrible.
So I lie down, and my friend put his foot down, like right where my head was, and then I basically scooted so that my feet were where his foot was, right? And so that we could measure out length of my body, length of my body, length of my body.
Like an inchworm kind of a thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any
Hooray for me.
Any more questions?
How long did this take?
Yeah.
Were you drunk?
No, I wasn't drunk.
They haven't gotten to the bridge yet.
It took like it.
You didn't get drunk till you crossed the bridge.
Yeah, we were on the way there to the watering hole. No, it took like 3 or 4 minutes, if I recall. But remember, this is a while ago. This is in Osaka.
Oh, time was different back then.
Yeah.
No.
It must have been very awkward, and
it's hard to remember.
Crawling towards the bar with all the lines of people crawling over the bridge who had just left the bar. They probably never saw anyone crawling toward a bar.
What was the name of the British dude?
Vid. This guy, still friends with him. His name's Vid Gunapala.
How many shimmeks long is he?
I'm going to measure everything in a shimek.
So you literally did a pub crawl.
Yeah.
Oh shit. I love it.
Nice.
Oh no, it was something Tom did. Now we know.
Can you picture
little side story? A guy I did work with in Japan, he kind of was like very passive aggressive with all the foreign staff and stuff, and he would say shit, and it was all in fun, but you knew he kind of didn't like any of us. And one day, on a birthday card that the office passed around for me, he wrote in there, "What kind of shimmick are you?" as his birthday message to me. He thought it was like really funny and like creative, but I was like, dude, I know your fucking game. I know what you're doing.
Okay.
I don't get it.
I don't either. It's Japanese.
Also, what did you win?
Oh, they bought me around. And they bought me a drink.
Fuck, that makes it so believable.
So with it. Crawl on the ground.
All that for a Kieran.
Yeah, I would do that for a round. God,
yeah. I mean, this is what 23-year-old me. I wasn't really.
I get it.
I wasn't really thinking about making big bucks out of this shit. And if you saw the street in Osaka where I did that,
you lived in the streets. I get it.
23. So you were 1 year for each shimek that the bridge was long.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, no, wow.
23 shimeks.
What I'm here for. Okay, I'm going to need the blue team to confer.
23.
Damn it.
I think it's true.
I think it's true. And it makes me mad because it's so stupid. And it's like bullshit that I've done.
So,
especially for free drinks.
So you're going to say it's true?
Kiera, true?
Yeah.
It's true.
Okay.
Don't be a lie.
That's a lie!
For the castle! Sorry.
Question it, and then I was like dismissed it because it sounded so believable. Was when you were reading it and you were reading the 23 shimmeks long, and you're like, nice touch. Like instead of like he like wrote it, so I was like, oh, is it a lie?
Is any of this true, Daniel? Is there any part of this that's true? Is his name Vid?
Yeah. All that is true. My friends who I worked with, I did call them the Coalition of the Willing because this is when W was in office. Yeah. We worked together in Osaka. We did go to that bar once or twice a week.
You were 1,000 points of light beer.
No bridge, no bet.
This hurts so much.
Well, actually, I wrote this lie because there was actually, I didn't do this, but there was actually a place near Harvard called Smoot's Bridge. From many decades ago, to get into a fraternity at Harvard, this guy Smoot, I forget his first name, but John, I think it was, had to measure the bridge in smoots, and they would put a chalk mark, and he'd have to crawl, and it was it was a big footbridge or whatever, and it eventually became
the footbridge.
It became known locally as Smoot's Bridge, and it was so and so many smoots long. But that's I figured I'd give that one to Daniel because it has a ring of.
You knew he can handle it.
If only I'd given it the Tom test like I did for Jesse.
Hey, Tom, that's called the Smites Bridge on Star Trek. So. Yes.
We did the Naked Mile, and as soon as you started to talk the story about that, from the pub back to the castle, we're talking about castles. I lived in a castle. Damn it, Daniel.
Oh well.
I feel pathetic.
All right.
I gotta
go. Okay, we are now going to round it off with Kiera, who could bring things back for the blue team.
Don't fuck this up.
Or send things just tumbling off into outer space.
This is for a round.
This is for a round in Osaka. A round of Kiera in Osaka. Okay, are you ready, Kiera?
I'm ready.
Okay, here we go. Here's Kiera's lie or truth.
I once got in trouble because I stole my dad's car and drove it 2 hours away to get cheesecake.
Nice.
Okay.
Okay.
What kind of cheesecake?
What?
What kind of cheesecake?
Cheesecake Factory cheesecake.
Oh.
Wait. There's like 200 different types there.
I don't remember what cheesecake I got at the time, but we were living in Milwaukee and there was no Cheesecake Factory, but I just like formed an obsession with it. And my parents were out of town. My dad had a super nice car. It was a Lexus. So I got a bunch of my girlfriends. We piled in the car. We drove to Chicago, had dinner and cheesecake at the Cheesecake Factory, and drove home.
Wow.
That must be about 20,000 shimmicks.
We don't measure in shimmicks.
So I'm going to ask what your dad probably asked. What were you thinking?
Do you have any idea how worried we were?
It's 12 o'clock. Do you know what your kids are?
Well, so my parents were out of town, so there was no one that was like keeping tabs on me, which is why I just like took the car and left. But I did get caught. I was very careful, make sure I filled the gas exactly to where it was.
You drove backwards, so the mileage didn't.
I drove backwards.
You Ferris Bueller, that son of a bitch. You did it.
It doesn't work.
The miles aren't coming off.
That quarters needed for the toll, and then I replaced them. But I got caught because the seat was so far forward.
Oh, God. That'll do it.
Yeah.
Wait, I mean, you weren't allowed to drive the car at all? Or
it was never like explicitly don't drive the car, but it was just kind of like implied. Like it was kind of like you have your own car, so if like don't take mine.
So wait, why did you use his?
I wanted to. It was
It was a Lexus.
Yeah, it was a nicer car.
Alexis, that is the Cheesecake Factory of cars. So that's the car. That's the car.
Because there's so many options and so many things to choose from that it takes someone 3 to 4 weeks to buy one.
And you can cram so many people into it. Yeah.
And it will also end up giving you a fat ass. Maybe. I don't know what the logic is, but
that was the only guilt I felt after this was like, oh my God, how fat is my ass going to get from this cheesecake?
Oh boy.
Kiera, did you guys do anything else in Chicago? Like
No.
you go all that way?
You guys go to a museum?
No,
Did you guys look at fine art?
We were hanging at my house. We were bored. We were like, woohoo, no parents are home. And then like after like 3 days of that, you're like, this is so boring.
Did Edward Rooney visit your house?
What?
Did Edward Rooney visit your house and make did you put a
kick him in the face?
Did you put like a dummy in your bed
These
when the
are
door opened?
Ferris Bueller references.
I got him. I've been really fun. It was actually
That movie came out.
Was there a
Was
there a picture of you? Was there a picture of you at Fenway? No, not Fenway. What the fuck is that?
Cub Stadium.
Yeah.
Wrigley.
Fenway.
Well, no, Fenway's Chicago. Wrigley's Milwaukee, so you're good.
Huh? What did you just say?
Wait, isn't Fenway Chicago? Shit.
No.
Fenway is straight up Boston.
Oh, just kidding.
I thought you were from Atlanta.
By the way,
wow, I moved there as an adult. I grew up in Milwaukee.
guys, just so you know, IO closed this week, so all the people looking for improv are watching this show in Chicago.
It's true.
Sorry.
All of them. We've
I'm
been
sorry.
canceled because of your comments, Kiera.
Yeah, it is a shame that IO closed.
I believe that. I know Chicago people. Actually, I think the reason that I thought that was I was like kind of dating this guy once in college, and he lived in Chicago, but his AIM name like had Fenwick in it.
AIM. Continue.
Yeah, I'm dating this guy.
Age, sex, vocation.
Here's the thing, Kiera. You're not that old. You
I
went
know,
out with a guy that had an AIM. What were you doing trolling AIM?
No, in college, that's how we used it. We didn't have, there were no group texts when I was in
Okay,
college.
we have strayed from cheesecake here.
Okay, wait, Kiera, what was the punishment?
He was, I didn't get punished. He didn't really care.
Yeah, I couldn't punish Kiera.
What?
I wouldn't punish you.
Me neither.
Yeah. He was just like, you stole my car. Don't do that. You have your own. Where'd you go? I was like, I wanted the Cheesecake Factory. He's like, nice. That was it. I was a good kid. Like, overall, I didn't really do that many bad things. He was like, if this was the worst thing you did when we went out of town, like, that's fine. It was not the worst.
That, and you put someone in a coma that Jesse had to go visit.
Yeah, you're welcome. Woke her up.
Removed from the coma because, as we know, her voice once woke a friend from a
So
coma.
Kiera, you just got the cheesecake and you came right back? I
No,
may
we
have...
had dinner. We sat down. We had a full dinner with the girls. We got dressed up, had dinner, and then we ordered cheesecake, ate the cheesecake, then we came home.
Makes sense. Okay. So, red team, discuss, analyze, true, false. It's all on you.
Oh, it's a very wholesome tale.
I'm not jealous of you guys. This seems bad.
What do you think, Daniel?
I think it's hard with Kiera because most of the things are like things where I could totally see her doing, you know?
Right.
But is it because it's kind of loosely true? She's fashioned something. I think it's false.
Ooh.
I think it's a lie. I think it's a lie.
Jesse, where are you?
I think it's true.
So,
well, why? Tell me.
Ooh.
Oh, now what is it?
I don't know because the like it matches like the punishment, like what she did wasn't that bad, and like so everything aligns like with her dad not being really that upset. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Isn't that all a little too convenient? Dun, directed by Dick Wolf.
So,
hey, if you say true, we'll go with true. We'll go with true.
You'll go with true?
Crap. Ding, ding. Here we go.
See, she's trying to distract us, though.
No, I'll need a verdict from the two of you.
I think
say true. True. What?
You said a lie.
Okay.
Which one is it?
I'll go. No, Jesse, I'll go with you.
Thank you. I don't know.
Okay.
It's true.
It's true.
Oh!
Wow.
Woo!
Wow. It's true.
Right.
Look at that.
So close.
I'm shook.
Oh my goodness.
I'm shook.
Oh, so you know what that means. That means
Casey has to burn that shirt.
team wins.
Oh my goodness.
Yay.
I love it.
What's that?
There's so many new graphics this week. I love it.
Oh,
Very cool.
yeah, because I've got so much else to do. Okay.
So with my winnings, I will buy all of you a round of Asahi. And anyone watching this from Chicago, we'll buy you some Portillo's.
That's me. That's my bad. I'm sorry, guys.
Hey, I didn't have to do a tiebreaker this week. Isn't that good? That's great. I didn't
It's
have to
really
come up
good
with
because
some
we just smoked them.
Yeah. In case you just joined us, that happened. Yeah. Okay.
Blocka.
Yeah.
Around the world.
So, any post-mortem here?
This game sucks and it's fixed. This is bullshit. This is part of liberal media trying to Yes, knew it. And I'm not wearing my face mask out after this.
Oh.
No, I'm definitely gonna wear it because don't be a fucking idiot. Wear the goddamn mask, you idiots.
Yeah, really. Yeah.
Right.
Wear the mask, folks. It's a plague.
Wear the mask. Black Lives Matter. If you're an All Lives Matter person, just stick black into that sentence. All Black Lives Matter.
That's
all Black Lives Matter. You dumb
All of them.
fuckers. Yeah.
Yeah.
You dumb racists.
Or just stick actually in there. Black lives actually matter. How about that? It just makes you,
Yeah.
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 Or,
Wear your fucking
or
mask.
how about suddenly? Black lives suddenly
Black
matter.
lives matter.
Suddenly to you.
And love is love, you stupid motherfuckers. How's that sound?
Jesse, how can you bring us out of our coma by saying something as a parting word?
Okay, it's funny that you said that I potentially woke people up from comas because my dad has like killed a lot of people that were in their comas. Like we call him the Grim Reaper. Like he's like visited 3 people and then have died.
What?
Can I ask, why didn't you send me this?
Why isn't this a thing? This would have been
No,
great.
that would
It's
be
a thing.
Oh, I once
up
ruined
here.
a surprise party. Okay,
And how come your dad isn't on this show? Because that sounds good.
Yeah, I mean it's like funny, but not. So just if you're ever like on your deathbed, don't ask to see my dad. Like
I want to see your dad if I'm on my deathbed. End it. Let's
Yeah.
go.
Yeah, let's get out now. Like now we all know how to get out of it. We need to.
That was Jesse. That was a thing. You could have. It was a. That could have been the thing for the show. That's perfect.
It could have
All
been,
right,
yeah. By the
Tom
way, just in case you just
You, Tom, you mother, you son of a bitch.
All right, Daniel, got anything? Got any shimex to?
I'm a Sagittarius. I'm just happy to be here. You know,
Okay, Kiera, want to add some whipped cream to that cheesecake before we all go?
Yeah. Send it my way.
Okay.
I'll take them.
Well, thank you guys for being here. Thank you for doing it. As you know, we do this maybe you don't know, as we do this every Saturday, and we do that every Friday. It was cool this past Friday. We did a Western. Friday before that, we did it wasn't Buck Rogers. It was Flash Gordon. It was really cool.
Flash. Oh.
Yeah. So stick with us on Fridays and Saturdays. Stay the hell home. Wear freaking masks so that we can more quickly get back to our theater and perform for live people again.
please.
Thank you very much for being here, all of you. Thank you, those of you who watched, and those of you in the future who will be watching the recorded version of this. Thank you very much. We'll see you when we see you. Right?
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Good night.